sadness and disbelief from a world missing American leadership. As images of America's overwhelmed hospital wards and snaking jobless lines have flickered across the world, people on the European side of the Atlantic are looking at the richest and most powerful nation in the world with disbelief. It is shaking fundamental assumptions about American exceptionalism, the special role the United States played for decades after World War II as the reach of its values and power made it a global leader and example to the world. Mr. Trump has fomented protests against the safety measures urged by scientific advisors, misrepresented facts about the virus and the government response nearly daily, and this week used the virus to cut off the issuing of green cards to people seeking to emigrate to the United States. It prepared for a new 9/11, but instead a virus came. It raises the question, has America become the wrong kind of power with the wrong kind of priorities? But this is perhaps the first global crisis in more than a century where no one is even looking to the United States for leadership. China took very authoritarian measures, while in the US, the virus was played down for a long time. West Germans like Mr. Moss, who grew up on the front line of the Cold War, knew that story by heart, and like many others in the world, believed it. There is a special irony. Germany and South Korea, both products of enlightened post-war American leadership, have become potent examples of best practices in the coronavirus crisis. Of course, some countries in Europe have also been overwhelmed by the virus, with the number of dead from COVID-19 much higher as a percentage of the population in Italy, Spain and France than in the United States. The contrast between how the United States and Germany responded to the virus is particularly striking. While Chancellor Angela Merkel has been criticized for not taking a forceful enough leadership role in Europe, Germany is being praised for a near-textbook response to the pandemic, at least by Western standards. The United States remains the world's largest economy. Benjamin Haddad, a French researcher at the Atlantic Council, wrote that while the pandemic was testing U.S. leadership, it is too soon to tell if it would do long-term damage. It is possible that the United States will resort to unexpected resources and at the same time find a form of national unity in its foreign policy regarding the strategic rivalry with China, which it has been lacking until now, Mr. Haddad wrote. The current crisis, some fear, could act like an accelerator of history, speeding up a decline in influence of both the United States and Europe.